The topic this afternoon is return non-stock products. And here we're talking about non-stocks that have come back from customers, and they're not damaged, they're not defective. We just need to take care of the customer and then, in most cases, get the product back to the DC or to the vendor so that it doesn't become part of surplus, so it doesn't just sit around forever at our branch. So I'm going to start off in the training or the play system here. So I think we all know how to write order returns, but we'll just kind of step through one kind of quickly. I'm going to use my favorite Eclipse test customer. Oops. And here, I'm going to do minus, because I'm bringing something back, -1. And for my example, it's going to be this. So whenever you start an order return, it's going to bring up this return goods verification screen. If you don't, you can search for the original sales order now, which is a good idea to make sure that they bought it from you. You can click this original order, inventory history, and this is going to show for that customer, for my branch, have they, what are the sales of this product? And sure enough, a couple days ago, yesterday, I sold them this this motor that I'm now taking back. So I'm going to go ahead and just close out of there. For quantity type, the way I'm going to teach this is we're going to bring the product back as type S. I think of S as sellable. It says stock, but really to me it means sellable. It's not damaged. It's not defective. The Waltham Group and maybe one or two of our other branches bring everything back as R for review. I don't disagree with that approach, but it is kind of a different way of doing things. So I'm going to teach our company's standard method here, which is bring it back as type S. Reason for return code, you can use the drop down, or I usually just type like RET and choose customer return. Any comments you want to put, like product arrived too late. Then close out of that window. We're going to want to put this in call when complete. And let me go ahead and put a ship via on there. So now I've kind of started the customer end of things. I've created the order return, so Eclipse knows that I'm bringing this product back. Physically, I'm going to stick that product in whatever area or areas of my warehouse that we have designated for return products. So now I'm going to close out of there. My next move, if I can do it the same day or as soon as possible, great. I'm going to go in and create the return PO. If you don't have a widget for quick purchase order entry, I recommend it. You just right click on a blank area, add widgets, quick purchase order entry, check mark all the options, put in your branch. I already have it, so let me cancel out of here. It's giving me a hard time. Okay. So from the quick purchase order entry, in my example, the product originally came from the Allentown Distribution Center. So I'm going to put that in. Very much like creating a sales order. And since this is product going back to the DC, it's going to be a negative quantity. Okay, couple of other notes here. When you go to the status screen, if it's a return to corp, you're going to want to use code ship via 19 corp return. And then you're going to EDI this return PO. I'm not actually going to do it, but you would just click EDI, close out of the screen, and then within 5 or 10 minutes, it's going to send that return PO off to corp. And then within 5 or 10 minutes after that, you, manager, will get an email saying whether your return is accepted or not. Once you do get that return authorization in that email, you're going to want to come into the header screen of the return PO and put the return authorization number both in the order ID box and in vendor instructions. I just put a note for now because I'm trying to keep this relatively short, but if your return is denied, you'll get an email saying something like they can't take your product back due to corp stocking levels. Then you can email this sc.returns. I would wait a couple of days, sorry. Your return's denied, wait a couple of days or maybe next week, and then email them and include product number, your store number, your denied PO. And it's always nice to try to kind of sell it, put a little explanation like, may I please return this product? It arrived 3 days too late at my branch, and the was too late for my customer, something like that. When you do get the return authorization and you send the product back, then be sure to receive the purchase order. That's an important step because we can't, when we eventually get the credit from corp or whoever the vendor is, we need to tie that, our accounts payable needs to tie that credit to a received purchase order. So that's an important step there. All right, so that's kind of the basics. Now I'm going to hop into into live Eclipse, and we're going to look at a couple of tools in Eclipse, a couple of places to help us keep track of credits and our returns to corp or to other vendors. So first off, kind of back to the customer side for a few minutes. One easy place to see all like your open customer credits is the customer calling queue. You can create a widget for the calling queue to just show credits, or when you go into the calling queue for new, then you would just check mark that show credits only. So here I created a specific widget, pretending like I work in Broomall. Here's the 8 customer credits. So these are all call when complete. You can see most of them have to do with warranty. Odds are we're waiting for return authorization, something like that. One other quick thing. There's a widget that you're not going to use all the time, but I think it's pretty cool for a couple of purposes. Sales inquiry. And here I can put in a specific customer. And if you click view, you can choose credits. And so this will just show you the the open credits for a specific customer. Just want to kind of give you a different way to get at that information. So again, that's a sales inquiry. Put in the customer, and then under view, choose credits. So those are two ways you can see open customer credits. There are more ways in Eclipse, of course. Something that's new for the managers the last maybe 2 weeks is getting the non-stock return report each day. And let's open up one for Broomall. Okay, so now DJ and Broomall, the managers of different branches, get this daily report. Now this is showing customer returns that have been processed, meaning they all have generations. So that means they could be a Q print status, they could be a P, could even be a B, but these have all got generations, so they're in some level of being processed. And why I think this report is worth looking at each day is for following up to make sure that we've started the process of returning the product to the DC or to the vendor. So from here, I'm just going to go into one of them. You can click into the sales order. And then by going into the history ledger, we can see if there's been a return PO process. This one, not yet. It was just yesterday. I also can look over here or go into the future ledger to see if there are any on a return PO. This one, not yet. Okay, so no open POs. And then inventory inquiry. Sometimes we do have products that are set up as non-stock, but we move them out of some branches. This is not the case with this product. So, without knowing more, it appears that this product is pretty unusual, and we want to try to send it back to the DC. Okay. Couple of other kind of follow-up tools. Okay, so back kind of to the vendor side of thing. So you created that return PO. So two things to kind of follow up on the return POs. One is running an open PO report. Debits only. Here, debits means negatives or returns. So really, I'm just putting in the branch and doing debits only. I'll show you what that looks like. So again, here for Broomall, they've got 7 or 8 of them. And so these are all, sorry about that. So all of these POs have been created, but they're open. They haven't been received. Remember, I said an important step was when you do send the product back, you want to be sure to receive the PO. So it could be the case on some of these that we did send the product back, but we just forgot to receive the PO. Other ones of these could just be that we're still waiting for the RGA. Honestly, all of these are pretty recent, except maybe this first one. And if I go into this first one, I know DJ is keeping after this because he keeps putting notes in here that he's following up on it. So really, I would recommend that this be at least like a weekly report that you would run. And then all the managers also get the unbilled stock receipt report, also called the UBAP, for negatives. This is similar but a little different. All of these are return POs, but notice they all have generations. So these are all received POs, received return POs. So presumably we have sent the product back, but we're waiting on the credit. And here the idea is when these start to get to be a month, 6 weeks old, to follow up with the DC or the vendor. Hey, did you get the product back? Do you need what do you call it, proof of delivery? Do you need any other information from me? Okay, final note, and then we'll open it up for discussion. So this whole process, you've sold a non-stock product to a customer, which meant it came from another branch or DC into your branch, out to the customer, Bob's HVAC here. And then the customer, returned the product to you. And now you've got to return the product back to the DC or vendor. This is a lot of product handling. And potentially there's freight charges, potentially there's restocking charges. And I know it can't happen every single time, and there are circumstances, but as much as possible, please, try to pass on those freight charges to the customer. And certainly if we're hit with restocking charge, please try to pass that on to the customer. Again, I know there's special circumstances, but again, a lot of material handling and potentially a lot of expenses involved with this whole process. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys unmute, and we can open it up for discussion. You guys should be able to unmute yourselves. Chris might be standing at the counter in Bellsville.
Yeah, I'm Carrie's on for me. I'm kind of over here filling in at the counter.
Oh, no worries. I was just going to ask you if you wanted to add on. You're certainly a veteran with all of this stuff.
Use it to diagnose something that will not pay. Okay.
Nope, I think I'm good, Matt. I mean, I didn't catch all of it, but I mean, what you were saying makes a lot of sense, and Carrie was taking some notes as well, so I'm gonna look through his notes, just to see as well.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be this week or not because Catherine is up helping in Bangor. I need to kind of do a final edit with her, but I'm going to publish the steps for this. So right now I've already, I've got like one quick guide for how to handle defectives. And then this is going to be a separate quick guide. So that'll be coming soon.
Appreciate it. Thank you.